It'll be his first. Iverson again. Yes! And a foul on Child.
Carter with the rebound. Turnaround. Carter changed hands and banked it in.
Let's go back to the 2000-2001 NBA season when we experienced one of the most iconic second-round series between two of the greatest legends of their era, Allen Iverson.
You've got to try to get the high percentage shot. Iverson hitting again. Some rebounds in Toronto. That's a story in itself. Iverson and Allen Iverson off the glass is fouled and has 49.
And Vince Carter.
Carter will take 27 shots and score 28. Goes up at your defensive end. Carter hitting. Carter with the rebound. Turnaround.
Both legends were in the prime of their careers, putting up historical stats. Iverson led the league in both scoring and steals. Carter was putting up MVP numbers as well. The 76ers were coached by Larry Brown and had finished first in the Eastern Conference. After getting eliminated in round 2 in consecutive seasons, the Sixers acquired Dikembe Mutombo to become their defensive anchor at the deadline. They easily handled the Indiana Pacers in the first round, after falling short in consecutive seasons. The Sixers were the betting favorites to come out of the East. The Raptors were more of an underdog story. After getting swept by the Knicks, Tracy McGrady left for free agency, and Butch Carter was replaced as head coach by Lenny Wilkens. They weren't expected to have a leap forward, but behind Carter, they finished 5th in the East and won a hard-fought 5-game series against the Knicks in the first round.
The series tied at 2 games apiece moved back to New York, where Carter took his team out to an early 12-point lead.
Alvin Williams hit a game-winning shot against the Knicks to push the Raps into the second round. While the team lacked star power outside of Carter, they were galvanized, embracing the role of underdog.
Second chance points made the difference in this one, as an aggressive Toronto team held on to defeat New York. Coach Lenny Wilkens' squad had come up big in the Big Apple, earning its first ever playoff series win.
Both teams were built very similarly. Outside of Iverson and Carter, neither team had much in terms of secondary scoring. The role players were all hard-nosed, defensive vets who let the stars do the heavy lifting on offense. In what many remember as the isolation era, Carter and Iverson were two of the poster boys. Iverson came out confident in Game 1, scoring the Sixers' first 8 points.
Raptors with a 4-0 lead. Here's the double on Iverson. Iverson getting the pick from Mutombo. Iverson has come out. Open shot for Carter for 3.
But Carter responded with a 3-pointer to settle the crowd. The two teams traded buckets as the Raps had a narrow lead heading into the second. That's when Carter dunked on Mutombo with authority and changed the energy in the arena.
Out of UNLV, Carter able to put it down.
The Raps continued to play with energy and built their surprising lead to double digits.
Here's Carter with room.
Yes, because he takes such good shots. There's Carter once again, that early offense.
Carter swatted one of Iverson's shots, and the Raps finished the first half up 10.
So that's the end of the first half.
Then he swatted another early in the third.
Played by Lynch, goes to the step back. Yes! His 21st point by McKee. He had no angle. And because of that hang time ability, he was able to somehow see the rim.
I'd love to be able to just do that one time. Jump in the air like that and just hang and score like that.
McKee got a piece of it. Carter able to recover and hit.
In the fourth quarter, Philadelphia's defense locked in and Toronto went dry. Philadelphia looked to be mounting a comeback, but with the score 92-90, Carter scored a massive bucket.
And Carter with the shot. Carter with the tip. That shot down the stretch. Iverson for 3.
Iverson responded with a quick 3-pointer, but it wasn't enough. The Raps won Game 1, 96-93.
Raptors, after stunning the New York Knicks Friday night at Madison Square Garden, defeat the Philadelphia 76ers in Game 1.
Carter scored 35 points, dunked on Mutombo, and blocked 2 of Iverson's shots in the win. Iverson's 36 points, 7 steals, and 8 boards weren't quite enough. But could the underdogs really keep this thing going? It looked like it. The Raptors came out firing, opening up an 11-point lead with 31 points in the first quarter.
And they're brief playoff history, 2 years that the Raptors actually have foul trouble and was not a fact. Nearly strips Carter of the ball, and here is Oakley hitting from outside. Childs driving in, sees Mutombo, pulls back and hits.
Off with his position. Beautiful.
Carter with 3.
That's when Allen Iverson turned up the heat a notch.
So far in game 2, Iverson fall away.
Below box, you're open.
You got a good shot there. Iverson with a 3.
He willed his team back into the game with bucket after bucket.
Here's Iverson in the paint.
Was not even touching the ball in the early offense.
Iverson, here's Iverson. The double team, the shot, they lead. Iverson having a brilliant quarter, fires and hits. Allen Iverson.
And closed out the half with his long mid-ranger to give his team a 2-point lead. Iverson continued to score at a torrid pace for Philly, but the Raps weren't going down without a fight.
7 steals in game 1 as Carter.
A couple of three-pointers at the end of the third brought the Raps back within 2.
Alvin Williams, and the last chance for Toronto. Here's Curry for 3. He's got it, and it counts.
Then a Vince Carter jump shot tied it up to start the fourth. But in the fourth quarter, Allen Iverson took over the game.
Iverson for 3. Raptors have found the range here in the corner and
tried to get the high percentage shot.
Iverson hitting again. Some rebounds in Toronto. That's a story in itself. Iverson with 47 points. And Allen Iverson off the glass is fouled and has 49.
Iverson scored 19 straight points for his team in the fourth. He closed out the game with 54 and Philadelphia won the game 97-92. No doubt Carter was very impressive in the game, but the story in that one was all Allen Iverson.
Talk about the scorer's mentality, it was right there.
That's the way you have to be. If you're going to be a great player, you can't worry about shots you miss.
Toronto's got to feel good about this, though. They continue to have good balanced scoring in their game, doing things that they feel like that they can do every night. Iverson put up 54 on us tonight. Can he continue to do that?
I agree with Mike. He can't get 50 a game, so Toronto's got to feel very good. Game 3 is going to be huge.
The teams crossed the border for Game 3. Canada got to watch live second-round basketball for the first time in history, and the crowd jolted energy into a hungry Raptors club looking for vengeance after a Game 2 loss. Carter led the way with a first half for the ages.
Double figures will be okay. Carter will take 27 shots and score 28. Goes up at your defensive end.
Carter hitting. Carter with the rebound, turnaround.
Carter finished the first half with 34 points on 8 of 9 three-point shooting. And in the second half, Carter and the Raptors kept on rolling. By the time it was finished, the Raps blew the Sixers out 102-78. Vince Carter led the way with a heroic response to Iverson by putting up a 50-point game with 9 threes and 4 blocks. Undoubtedly one of the greatest playoff performances of all time to give his team a 2-1 series lead.
If you are Philadelphia now, do you say there's no way that Vince can shoot like that from the outside again?
Well, I mean, I do believe Vince Carter, he had a great game. He had a lot of outside shots, but I think you're probably going to live and die with that most of the time.
But I agree with Rod. He can't make those shots like he did tonight consistently. I mean, you got to give him something. If you guard him close, he's going to go to the basket. But I think Philly will live with that, and I think they'll play a lot better in Game 4.
Philadelphia was much more prepared for the noise at Air Canada Center coming into Game 4. They knew that going down 3-1 in the series would be nearly impossible to come back from, so it was a must-win game. The Sixers came out desperate, opened up a double-digit lead going into halftime. But those pesky Raptors came fighting back in the fourth to make it close. With under 3 minutes left, Chris Childs tied the game with a three-pointer, but Iverson responded with a clutch 3 of his own on the next possession.
They've come back from 16 down to tie it. Iverson answers back with a 3.
From there, Philadelphia was able to close it out and tie the series at 2 with an 84-78 victory. Then, heading into Game 5, Philadelphia received a huge emotional boost when Iverson was named as the league's most valuable player and presented the trophy in front of his home crowd.
I want to thank my family and my friends, my coaching staff, and my teammates, because without my teammates, I definitely wouldn't be up here getting this award right now.
Philly was juiced up heading into the game, and the Sixers opened up an 11-0 lead right out of the gate. From there, they never looked back.
4 trips for the Raptors. Iverson, yes! To deep. Iverson from the key, yes! Goes. Morris Peterson, the rookie out of Michigan State, floats in. Iverson, you can see the Raptors react, which netted them that 21-point lead. Iverson, boy, it looked like it's worked. First, Iverson again, yes! And a foul on Childs!
Iverson proved why he was deserving of the MVP award with a 52-point game, his second 50-point of the series. Following Game 5, the Sixers were one win away from making it to the conference finals, and seemingly had wind in their sails. But the Raps just wouldn't go away easily. Lenny Wilkens inserted Morris Peterson into the starting lineup for a jolt of energy, a player that had completely lost his spot in the rotation after a very strong rookie season. Mo Pete was a big difference maker, and Air Canada Center was roaring. Carter scored 13 points in the second quarter to extend the Raptors' lead by 15 by the half.
This is a big game. I don't have time to sit out. And I just feeling confident. I told them if I'm open, I'm going to take a good shot. If not, I'm going to find an open man, and they trust me right now.
Allen Iverson is Alvin Williams' man, but he's the whole team's man. He did not have a field goal in the second quarter. What are you guys doing against him?
Well, we're just trying to send a couple of bodies at him, and if he's going to take it, it's going to be a tough shot.
Philly pushed back in the third, though, cutting the score to 70-68 entering the fourth. In the fourth quarter, the rookie Peterson came up big with back-to-back three-pointers to open up the lead back to 8 when his team needed it most.
But they're down by 2, and their energy still is full force. Morris Peterson comes back and hits a 3. Where has he been? The 7-pointer. Peterson hits another 3.
And from there, it was all Carter.
17 points and 12 boards. Here's Carter with the drive. Peterson looking for Carter, posting up against McKee. Comes back into this game. Here is Carter, sending this series to a Game 7. Carter hits the play, and on the road themselves. Carter changed hands in 1980.
He finished with 39 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 threes, 4 steals, and a block to force Game 7. However, before Game 7, Vince Carter had an important decision to make. Carter declared for the NBA draft following his junior year at North Carolina University in 1998, and he made a pact to his family that he would still graduate, a commitment he saw through. Carter's college graduation was on the same day as Game 7, and despite some fans and teammates' concerns that attending graduation could take him out of rhythm, Carter decided that attending was a priority.
And I told him I'm going to be at practice. After practice, I'm going to fly to Chapel Hill. I'm going to graduate 9 a.m. I will be back for our walkthrough at 11. Do you have a problem with it? Every person in the organization said, as long as you're back, I don't care. I'm happy for you.
And then hopped on a flight back to Philadelphia at noon. A pretty exhausting morning that broke Carter's typical game day routine, and a decision that was criticized by some of his teammates afterward.
Game 7. All the sweat. All the effort. Today, one goes home. The other earns the right to play another day. Game 7 next.
Game 7 was an absolute grind. Both Iverson and Carter were guarded closely, forcing some of the role players to step up. By halftime, Iverson and the Sixers held an 8-point lead.
Shoot the ball well, just 5 of 17, but Iverson with 9 assists, and he did finish with 13 points. Meanwhile, Vince Carter, fresh off his graduation, at 11 points, he had 4 assists of his own. Game 7 from Philadelphia, halftime here at the First Union Center.
But the Raps chipped away, cutting the deficit to just 3 points heading into the fourth. With just under a minute left, Del Curry hit a clutch three-pointer in transition to bring the Raps within a single point.
Ball knocked loose. Carter tripped up. Crowd wanted to travel. Curry for 3. Bam! Del Curry from downtown.
On the other end, both Iverson and Eric Snow missed jumpers before Antonio Davis pulled down a board. Davis passed it to Alvin Williams, who crossed half court, then a timeout with about 5 seconds left, setting up a sudden death shot for Vince Carter.
The Raptors will have a chance to win it at the buzzer.
What a game. Great plays, great defensive sequences. That big 3 by Curry, now his team has a chance. 3.6 to go, down only 1.
They could have called that timeout immediately, though.
Curry after he
rebounds. Curry has it. Carter trying to get free. Carter at the buzzer. At the buzzer. No good. And the Sixers hold on and advance to the conference finals.
After winning the series, the Sixers beat the Bucks before losing to the Lakers in the finals. The Raptors, on the other hand, never reached those same heights during the Vince Carter era. The following season, Carter suffered a season-ending injury and never played another playoff game for Toronto. Neither Vince or Allen Iverson ended up winning rings, but young fans that never watched them play in their prime might never really understand how good they were. But don't be fooled. Vince Carter and Allen Iverson were two of the most electrifying players to ever step foot on the NBA court. And that second-round series in 2021 was one of the greatest matchups between two players ever. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to Sports Insight, because we've got more stuff coming your way.